True, and really the biggest problem that Meta Knight's going to have is that he typically can rely on anti-airing people with his up air and down air to just cover space. You really struggle to do that against Yoshi sometimes. If this character stays grounded and just does an instant double jump on you, he can just neutral air through your options, like we just saw.
All right, a little bit of ledge play there. Oof. Love the aggressive option of just fairing, you know, coming back from ledge. Kind of risky because that was, I think it's from a double jump, but regardless, just, you know, I find that Yoshis are brave.
True. Brave or perhaps a little bit foolish sometimes, because an aggressive Yoshi can swiftly find himself exhausted of resources and doomed to drift ever so slowly off stage. But right now, Burst is making his name known, living up to the tag he's chosen for himself, because he is just absolutely going in on Oatmeal and making this look very difficult.
Yeah. That's a really good option too, because, you know, I understand from Oatmeal's point of view is that you want to get out that quick aerial so that you're not, you know, tumbling in air, but Burst is able to get out there really quick, maybe a bit quicker than Oatmeal was expecting. Very good first set, first game, first stock. Bring it back in. Gotta bring it back.
Already a mistech right there. Burst trying to cover all options with just all of the hitboxes that his character has, but not quite working out. Oatmeal, a bit of a difficult sign of things to come. He tried to up B to get that stock immediately, but it did not even come close to killing, but the back air killing off the side instead. And that's the difficulty here. Meta Knight, a character that likes to kill off the top, might have to rely on those horizontal over the vertical kill options in this matchup.
Wow. Oatmeal doing a really good job just kind of walking around, sometimes dashing, just, you know, trying to be like, okay, Burst, you got to make an option, but Burst playing patient, throwing these eggs.
I mean, playing patient goes hand in hand with Yoshi, but the problem is sometimes your patience is not rewarded. Oatmeal very nearly getting that early ladder off the top, but instead gets up, crashed on the standard get up. What a turnaround by Burst.
I swear, that's one of those reads that's just like, I just feel it, right? It's like, there's not a lot of reason for Oatmeal to roll in there, but it's just after that whole interaction that we just had, I feel like you're gonna roll. Burst knew that, caught that roll. Ooh.
Great egg to get back, but just double jab there. Even his jab isn't useless, and it actually claims Burst's stock, as it looks like he didn't realize that he has expended all of his resources off stage.
All right, very, very close game one. Final stocks on both players. Armor through the side B. Not gonna spike me today.
I mean, really? I think that's a challenge for a few of these players. Are we gonna get the tornado at the end? No, has to go with the up B and gets the kill this time. Oatmeal carries Burst to the corner and finally secures the stock with a ladder.
I was amazed. Was Burst holding in there, or was Burst holding out? Was that just like the perfect percent? No matter what, Oatmeal going for that, I could not. It's like, oh, it didn't work last time. I'll just play careful and safe and probably lose the game. So huge props to Oatmeal taking that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have to do the same thing. I did not think that was going to kill. I figured that we were going to see a tornado instead. So it could have been an issue with the DI. Typically, you do want to DI Meta Knight stuff up so that you can just like pop out of them, especially with Yoshi when you have double jump armor, so you can just double jump out of it. But maybe that's what happened, that he was jiggling the stick up, trying to SDI as quick as possible, and was not ready for the burst option, no pun intended, of the up B.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy thing. You know, I've seen both in Smash 4 where it's more guaranteed, and in this game, a lot of people who might say something like, oh man, this should never happen to this character. Oh man, this usually doesn't work. But I swear, Meta Knight just works in Magic sometimes. It's like his up air has 3 different hitboxes, and sometimes you can just get hit with that special combination, and then the magic happens.
Meta Knight is you thought the character. It's like you thought you were winning. You thought that was safe. You thought I couldn't kill you at 50. You have to be on your toes against this character, despite the fact that he has none.
Also, Lilat. First time I've seen Lilat in possibly a month.
Yeah, I mean, we're both from MDVA. This is the region of PS2, okay?
Yeah.
This is not a stage that receives much love, but I mean, Yoshi is so good on the stage. The awkward angles really help his ledge play. They help his egg camping game, and the platforms are super good for up air resets.
Yeah, the eggs is the biggest thing that I know. I fought a couple Yoshis, and man, this stage going against those eggs is brutal, to say the least. Both these characters have really good nairs that just like you land in the wrong way next to their shield, you're probably gonna get naired out of shield. Neutral get up.
Both players just trying to bash at each other's shields, and that is the asymmetry in this matchup. All Burst needs to do is flick the C-stick, and those smash attacks are not as punishable as you would think. Oatmeal needs to commit if he wants to get the up B kills, and every time that he guesses wrong, he takes a trip to the blast zone.
Ooh, and there's another up B. Not working out the first time. The Burst, or the Oatmeal, sticking to it. Tried and true. I mean, hey, got the stock for it. Ooh, that down smash just barely too soon.
I'm digging the use of the dimensional cape to get back, but it feels like these platforms are kind of messing with Oatmeal a little bit. Like he just can't get down to the stage. He keeps getting stuck on the platform edges.
Yeah, I can feel that.
All right,
but that's just
calm
weird.
down.
The tilt on the platform that feels what really does it, what makes it feel weird. So far helping out Burst, but Oatmeal making a bit of a comeback now. Nice.
No,
that was a really
quite.
good call.
That's like the reason why Yoshi's like to go there. Like just up air covers these platforms so perfectly, and then you can just get a double jump reset immediately if you miss.
And it's like, hey, you're dimensional caping, you're gonna land on one of these platforms. I'll just make a 1 and 3 call. And hey, you get the 1 and 3 every time.
50% of the time, it works.
Always hits.
Every time.
All right, racking up damage, but Burst already got 70% on Oatmeal. 86, keep it going.
This is exactly what you don't want to see when you're down like this. You cannot afford these trades. He has a good side B, but that will not finish it off. Yoshi, a heavier character, gets the drag down of the back air, but the air dodge just barely gets Burst back. Reset the situation. Up B, calling out the jump. What control by Oatmeal that entire time, covering option after option, not allowing Burst the opportunity to get back to center stage.
Yeah, that total control over the stage was beautiful. And the call to just do that up B, knowing that Burst is going to go high. Very good play. But now, Oatmeal in a very, very rough spot. Burst showing that's like, I can rack up this damage. I just need one more hit. You're going to, explode off the top.
That's true, but I mean, we've seen Oatmeal do this before. This is the danger zone. Meta Knight with Rage just means that he can start his combo sooner, but not going to be given the opportunity that time. Burst just spacing well, not really rushing in, forcing Oatmeal to run into his hitboxes, and eventually one of them back airs connects.
Yeah. Hey, absolutely. Okay, let's see where this next game ends up. It is a 1-1. We are in game 3, Oatmeal versus Burst.
And
both of them.
I think that means that we've had 3 matches in a row since Chunky Kong the stage.
Wow.
In game 3.
Yep, you're 100% right. Hey, it's buying time for losers to catch up a little,
Exactly.
Gotta give them time.
TO's digging it for sure. So now, what do you think the counterpick is going to be for this kind of a matchup?
Man, all right. Meta Knight versus Yoshi. That's a really hard one. Like, both characters get a lot off of, multiple platforms. The biggest thing is that you don't want to give Yoshi room to, kind of camp through this eggs, but I feel like you could really get that on any stage, whether they're B platformers, whether they're not B platform. Yoshi's a character that I don't find really needs a good stage because Yoshi works well on so many stages due to his vast kit. I think Stadium's fine. I think Stadium, just tried and true. Just understand, let's just go neutral.
To be honest, I don't think that this is a neutral stage in this matchup at all. This is, a lot of people don't recognize this. Stadium 2 has one of, if not, I think it's the second lowest ceiling in the game. And you are dealing with Meta Knight, a character that's already laddered you off the top once. This is, I think, perhaps the ban against Meta Knight. It's either this or it's Town that you have to get rid of. And I think perhaps the bans were like Final D and Town, and then leave this one through. This is a very good pick by Oatmeal, I think.
That's fair. I think, from what I remember from the data, I don't think the ceilings are all that different. Like, it might be the second lowest, but it's also tied with like 3 others. But it's been a while since I've checked out all of the stats. Big thing is being that from ledge to blast zone, it is the shortest in the game. If you get hit on ledge, you're gonna die sooner than any other stage in our current stage list. But because of how wide the stage is, it doesn't always happen.
So the top blast zone for Stadium 2 is tied with Final D and Yoshi's Island Brawl. So it's like, it's the same thing as Yoshi's. When you see like Mario or characters laddering you off the top with Yoshi's, they can do the same thing here, just they don't have that top platform.
Yeah.
But on this one, it looks like we haven't seen any ladders quite yet, as Oatmeal has been pressuring horizontally and getting a very good percentage lead right now against Burst. The problem is that Yoshi is a character that does very well with Rage. As we just saw, Oatmeal again puts out a laggy option, and Burst hard manages to take an early...
Yeah, was that up smash at 90 to take the stock? That's unreal. But hey, 150% Rage. It's something you don't want to mess with. That's kind of the problem when you're playing a character that's so easy. You know, they're really able to rack up damage, but they don't find those kills, which I actually think is kind of the beauty of Rage. Everyone likes to complain about Rage, but it is kind of that balance to characters that are really quick, deal a lot of damage, but can't kill. Now you have another way to punish those characters, make them a little worse, not as top tier as they have been in the last games. But the Rage is now gone. Up throw, killing at 200%. Pretty good.
True. I agree that it has its good options in this game. Like in 4, I think it was like definitely overtuned, but in this one, they kind of hit a sweet spot, I think.
Unfortunately, too many characters that could abuse that Rage with throw combos at low percents.
Ryu. Just Ryu, they just walk uphill all day.
Up smash is working out.
Dash attack by Oatmeal. He's just trying his best to go ahead and get these dash attacks to convert into something, but Burst, very intelligent to recognize that he needs to jump away every single time.
All right, here we're going to see if the top matters, but no, we're going to see that side blast zone matter. You cannot get hit on ledge, not against Meta Knight, not on this stage. So I 100% agree with you.
I remember when Samsora used to play against Leo's Meta Knight, and all he would do is he would camp ledge. Because it's like, all right, you're never going to dash attack me. You're never going to hit me with that one-up air. Like, I'll play at edge. Just don't ladder me, please.
Man, we're in a dead even game now. Something that went from so one-sided on Burst's side.
That converted,
getting
but
good damage.
That won't do it.
Yeah, Yoshi's floating, but Yoshi still has enough, you know, got enough chonk on him.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. And now it really feels like Burst can't come back. You know, that kill kind of just got in his head.
Yeah, it took the wind out of his sails. Look at his options now. All he's doing is forward air and egg toss. He does not want to approach. He doesn't have that same aggressive mentality. He's kind of like waiting for Oatmeal to give him an opening. And it looks like Oatmeal not quite trying that. 2 missed techs, though, and he gets the up smash. Not quite killing. Good DI by Oatmeal to barely dodge death right there.
Almost lost 3 stocks to an up smash. Below 100%. Now we are seeing a dead even game. I feel like this could go either way. Trying to get the dimensional cape, a little risky. Up air's gonna take it.
Oatmeal just double jumped in place, did not choose an option, and Burst, having no such trepidation, fires off the up air to take game 3 and punch his ticket into winner's top 8.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're playing in the air like that and you have a character that has such a quick killer option, you're playing with fire. And I know that Meta Knight doesn't have a lot of options there because it's like you're stuck in the air. All you have are these tiny little jumps to move around. And unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time. Yoshi absolutely going to take that. Moving on to winner's semis, which leaves our winner's semis sets. This is a very, very interesting top 8. We have Epic Kalito, the King DDD, versus Burst the Yoshi. Then we have Pop Niffy, the DDD, versus Chunky Kong. That is a heavy top 8.
It is, yeah. These boys been packing on the pounds right there. I hope you like long matches that don't necessarily have a ton of early kills, because this is going to mean more neutral interactions and more Smash for all y'all at home. In addition, we have some losers bracket updates. It looks like a few of the favorites have been knocked down. We have 17 losing to TM4, who's currently in a Game 3 situation with J-Jaw. We have Shucky, a Palu main, advancing. We've seen him do quite well relatively recently. And it looks like Peanut is also on Game 3, and it looks like Wadi has had his run ended by Shucky, actually.
Wow, what an interesting Xanadu this has been so far. And y'all are going to get to see the rest of it as top 8 begins in just a few moments. We're going to take a quick break as we swap over commentators. Scabs, it's been phenomenal commentating with you again. Do you have anything else to say to the people before we sign off?
Thank you. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. Thank you all for keeping chat rowdy for us. And please do stick around because we will be right back.
Hell yeah.